Canada is headed toward a recession in 2023, but it is likely to be short-lived and not as severe as prior downturns, according to a new report from RBC. Royal Bank of Canada economists say soaring food and energy prices, rising interest rates, and ongoing labor shortages will push the economy into a moderate contraction next year. The report adds that household spending that accelerated out of the COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns will slow as higher prices, interest rates, and unemployment will hit households. RBC also expects house prices to fall 10% in the year ahead, subtracting over $800 billion from household net worth. Amid difficult and uncertain times, knowing if you should invest or buy a house could be confusing. With us now to give us his perspective on how to proceed is Mr. Brendan Caldwell, Director of Caldwell Securities Limited. Welcome to Forum Daily.
Thank you, Julie. Great to be here.
I have to start with the uncertainty of the market. Is there a perfect time to invest?
Yes, now, whatever now is, the ever-present now.
Okay.
Because to wait until the perfect time never comes. The market will either be ever too high or too low. So doing something now, if one has done nothing, do something that just makes doing the next thing just that much easier.
Any advice on how to deal with inflation?
Well, let me just, how does one say this nicely, tear apart everything RBC had to say that you did in your little introduction. There's no way on earth they know that whether it's going to be short-lived or moderate. And if you rattled off all the things that I think are going up, food prices, energy prices, the price of getting your dog walked, I don't know, everything you said was going up. It sounds more like the makings of a revolution than it does a short and moderate recession. So I'm a little bit, more than a little bit skeptical of the precision with which economists predict the future and RBC's predictions about our present future, if that makes any sense in particular.
So tell me, is it even worth investing in a house?
Oh, yeah. Well, first off, is it worth living in a house? I think that's the first question people have to ask themselves. If you want to live in a house, by all means, live in a house. If you can have the means, I highly recommend it, as the great Chicago philosopher Ferris Bueller once said. So get a house if that's where you want to live. Buy a condo if that's where you want to live. Figure out where you want to live first. And then secondarily, yes, it can be an investment. And over the next however long you live there, 5, 10, 15 years, it'll probably be worth more than what you pay for it, especially in the bigger cities in Canada where people are still going to be coming by the hundreds of thousands from everywhere, because compared to Canada, the rest of the world kind of sucks.
Well, how should a young person, before they start thinking about investing in the market?
How young? Well, people should start thinking about investment in the market probably no later than their first real paycheck. Now, some young people, and we've got accounts in trust for their parents, for a number of young people where they're interested in a particular stock. So they want to do this, and we talk to them about it and help them out from a very young age, late or mid-teens, even early teens. So there's nothing wrong with that. But by the time you get your first paycheck, you should be thinking about putting some money away on a regular basis, even if it's only $50 or $100 a month.
So what are the ways that I can start investing in order to be able to retire at 50? Or how much do I need to start? Let's ask that a common question that people want to know.
Well, you still have a good 20 years left, but if you're asking me how to invest so that you can retire at 50, you're clearly asking the wrong person, because I'm 52. So whatever I was doing clearly wasn't right. I would think if you're a young person, I would have a more fundamental question. What do you really want to do that inspires you such that you don't want to retire from it? If, as I do, you like engaging or really enjoy engaging with people, being a part of their lives, advising them on things that they otherwise find very stressful, which is money, then don't retire from doing that. If there's something else that inspires you, do that. But retiring by 50 does imply to me that you really hate what it is that you're doing. So don't do that. Do the thing that you're inspired by, and then figure out a way that you can make some money doing that. And then, as opposed to having this when and then thinking, oh, when I get to 50, when I get to 60, when I get to 70, I'll really enjoy myself then. Makes me think of cats in the cradle, but for a career.
Well, thank you so much for those answers. They were very helpful. I'm sure our viewers will enjoy it. Always nice to have you.
Thank you.